So you know how I always talk into my phone and record these while walking because it's simpler? Well, I have no phone, so I probably look like I'm completely insane using an actual camera. I have no phone because my phone battery was lasting 20 minutes worth of usage in a row, or 2 hours total, even if I wasn't really using it. So I tried to reset it, and then I can't get into the phone because it requires that I authenticate with a text that is sending to the phone, and I can't get into my Verizon account from which I could normally send a text because it too wants me to authenticate by sending a text to my phone, which I can't get into. So this whole thing is just ridiculously impossible. Which means I have no phone. So I'm trying to do things the old-fashioned way. Kate, you should know that I am so sorry about Mitzi. Obviously you cared about her. Poor thing, you know, it's good that she had happiness at the end, and I'm sure she felt a lot more comfortable in her last few days than the ones before that where she was scared and sad and unhappy. So I'm sure you brought a lot of happiness to her. That said, I love pet stories. I think they're really fun. So you can keep up with the pet sagas. Love that. So I actually got like super emotional at work the other day because I found the most powerful meme I've ever seen in my life. It was like amazing and touching and heartbreaking, and I ended up crying, like sitting at my desk. I think the text of the meme says something like, sometimes life is so lit, you're just like, I'm glad I didn't kill myself 6 months ago. And it's exactly how I feel right now. You know, 6.5-ish years ago I attempted, and life seemed so bad and upsetting, and like it was never gonna get better, which is how I got to that point. And now I'm just like the happiest a person can be, and life is so lit. And I'm just glad, you know, that it never got there. Even a year and a half ago, January of 16 was the last time I was seriously suicidal and seriously contemplating it. And a year and a half later, life is just so good. I need to, you know, everyone should know that and remember that things can change like that and be beautiful. So when I first saw that I wasn't going to be able to get into my phone, I was thinking about the pros and cons, and mostly I think of cons, but I was trying to convince myself that there could be pros. So I was saying things like, I need the detox because I'm so dependent, it's ridiculous, and like I need to feel good about being my own person. And then I was thinking, like, what if I took it a step further? What if I intentionally went afterwards and got an old-fashioned phone, and that way I could still make texts and calls, but I wouldn't be so dependent on the internet. And then I realized it's just not logistically possible right now because I have to check my email for work. Well, that's not the highest priority. I have to have access to Maps or Uber if, you know, I need a ride because I don't have my own car. The subway map is a big one, just for transit. There are a lot of reasons why I kind of do need it.